For today's ride, I'm cycling from Crested Butte. I'm going to cycle up Green Lake Trail, up to the lake, then along Carbon Trail and down Baxter Gulch. The highlight of the ride is going to be Baxter Gulch, the descent. At Green Lake Trail, there's no public parking here at the trailhead, as it's on a private road. So what I've done, I've parked at Baxter Gulch where I'm going to finish and cycled up the private road to Green Lake. Now this will be a long climb, so I'm not going to really film this. I might do a few bits here and there, but I'll give you a summary when I get to the top on what the trail's like. And the goal is to get up to the lake and then from there traverse across to Baxter Gulch. So I shall see you at the top, or if there's anything interesting that comes along the way. So I'm part way up Green Lake, and I want to give a status update before I forget everything. Trail starts out climbing up quite sharply through forest. You got a couple of quite difficult switchbacks to climb up, some rocky outcrops and a lot of roots. Is actually a moderately difficult climb up the first part. Then it levels out into a nice forest single track, gives you a little rest. That's very nice and sweet. And then it turns onto a dirt road that literally goes straight up the side of the mountain, and that's pretty much a hiker bike the entire way. It's a very steep grade, very hard. But then once you get to the top of that road, we're now onto this single track, which is dustier and rockier, and we're climbing up this. So I can see up ahead it goes up quite sharply. We've got a lot of height gain to do, so I'll stop here and we'll continue further up. We climbed up to a road. So Green Lake's not all single track. So after the road we turn back onto Green Lake. Here it's nice and smooth, a lot more mellow. I'm sure that will change. My guess would be that this is where a lot of the hikers pick up Green Lake as they can from the road. So Green Lake gets increasingly steep and technical. I don't mind admitting that most of this is a push-a-thon for me. I think this is rated a Black Diamond downhill trail. I can definitely see it being a good descent, even though there's some road section, some sections with a little elevation gain here and there on the way down, and you've got kind of a dirt track section where you lose a lot of elevation in a very rapid succession. But you've got stuff like this to come down. This makes it hard to go up. So still climbing up on Green Lake, but we're beginning to approach the top. I have to say, most of Green Lake is a hiker bike. It is very steep. Even the strongest riders will be hiking large parts of it. I chose this route because I could have done an out and back on Baxter Gulch to get to Green Lake, but that actually had more elevation gain than going up Green Lake. So I thought I'd give this a try. But I can tell you, Green Lake is not a climbing trail. It's very much a descending trail, but I don't know how you get to the top. Perhaps up Baxter Gulch and down Green Lake. Now this is Green Lake. Oh yeah. Look at that. I'm not sure the video will do it justice. But these are the views from Green Lake. The lake down there. That's a full 360. And you can see Crested Butte up ahead. So that was Green Lake. I don't know why I bothered to get back on the bike. As crazy as it seems, this is fairly rideable compared to some of the stuff I've been on. Right, now we get off Green Lake onto Carbon. So we turn right here. This is rocky. Now before we get to Baxter Gulch, we're going to have to climb up again. This is not a smooth trail. Come on. Nope, can't make it. Now we're going to basically be climbing on Carbon Trail until we get to the top of Baxter Gulch. So again, I think we can assume it's going to be a mixture of kind of backcountry trail, rocks, roots, undulating through the forest like this as we gradually climb our way back up. So I'm still on the Carbon Trail. This bit's improved. This bit's actually relatively smooth and rideable. The earlier section near Green Lake was an absolute nightmare. There was just lots of loose, janky rock, next to impossible to cycle up. See, I'm still climbing here. Yeah, I consider this good compared to what it was like. Alright, I've got to a more undulating section on Carbon. The climb up was absolutely brutal. It's a truly horrid trail. And, whoa, I guess I can't talk and do technical stuff at the same time. It's very difficult. The trail is full of rocks and roots and wheel-sized holes that catch your wheel, cause you to stop. If I'm saying this is the easier part, you can understand what the rest of it was like. Took a long time, but I finally at the top we get to this view. So the Carbon Trail is a brute of a trail. It's really hard, but it does get you to this view. I'm not sure what mountain that is. It's a pretty big mountain. I'll put the name of the mountain below. We got a bit of a descent on Carbon Trail, but then also once we pick up Baxter Gulch, just a little climb to get over a hump, and then we descend back down on Baxter Gulch. There is another little climb at the bottom. It's not a total downhill. I'd be happy never to do Carbon again. That I rank that on my horrible scale pretty up there. At least coming in this direction. Coming from Green Lake to Baxter Gulch is not fun on Carbon. Plus it won't be so bad if you climbed to Baxter and went down. It may not be so bad. But there's just a little warning, if you come that way, it's a horrible trail. Alright, from the scenic outlook. I can see that this will probably be easier to climb than the route I took, but it's still going to be hard. Still very much moon dust trail along here. It's very powdery. I'm used to Crested Butte being kind of rainy in the afternoon. That keeps things nice and tacky. Whoa, that's rough. This is not tacky. See, the trail looks smooth because of the dust on it. It's actually got lots of rocks underneath. Let's give you a pounding. Now we have a bit of a climb on Baxter Gulch until we get to the downhill on the other side. Okay, enough fumbling. Let's get going. Not at the top. It looks so close on the map. Jump, Burmy corner. Okay, I guess we're on the down now. Oh, little rough through here. This is rough. Now, I wanted to take this trail because I don't know if you're like me, but I've been seeing lots of adverts from Ride Crested Butte promoting this trail, so I wasn't sure if it's new or something a new gem that they've been trying to add to the repertoire here. A rough section through there, as is this, for the level of effort it took to get up there. So far the trail is not gelling with me, so I just have to give it more time, grow on me. I also like the more raw technical trails, but I think with this one, because climbing up Green Lake and Carbon was so hard and difficult, it's like, no, I'm done with technical today. I just want sweet, sweet, fast flow. I'm not sure if this is a blue or black trail. Kind of put it kind of in between the two. Certainly not going to be a Dr. Park contender or 401 contender. See, I'm coming down this and I don't feel comfortable getting very quick on it. It's like the whole trail is banked or like turned to control your speed, so you can't get that fast rush down, which is odd because the adverts for the trail showed riders going flat out. Perhaps that's to come. That was a lot tight through there. Yeah, this trail is just, for a downhill trail, it's just too slow. Although the advertisements on the trail is showing downhill runs on it, I got a feeling this is more set up to climb to get to Green Lake. The whole Carbon trail looked like it's been having work done on it as well. Again, it looks like the work prefers the direction in the opposite to what I was doing. So perhaps the route is to climb up Baxter Gulch to Green Lake and then go down the Green Lake trail, because that one looks a riot to go down. Perhaps I just had different expectations on what this was going to be like. After all, I'm getting a pretty good run down it. A little bit's interesting. Again, we're kind of descending through rocky chunder here. This is a tightly cut single track. This has some merit to it. Ooh. Looks like the climb goes up there. Well, that climb is horrid. For the end of the downhill. Oh, that's horrible. That drops off to the side a bit. I used to think the exposure on the 401 for such a popular trail felt a little intimidating, but this one actually feels worse. So I just keep my eyes on the trail and then we start to drop back down. I'm actually taking this one a little cautious. I don't know, the narrowness and the slope to the side kind of freaked me out. We're pretty much near the beginning now. Oh, this is odd. Black soil. Whoop.
Hi.
So, there you go.
Just us two.
Yeah, just me. Sometimes it catches you by surprise when you come across another rider having not seen hardly anybody I've been out for 4 hours and I barely saw a soul in this time. So I guess that's one thing to say about this route. I want to get away from the crowds. This is why I'm being slightly off the radar. It's a good way to get some quiet time. But as I said, there's some pretty nasty parts to the trail, to the ride. And we are back down to the trailhead. And we are back. I'm ready to die.
Route complete.